Are you struggling with women? You keep going out on dates and you keep finding women that you really think you click with, and then suddenly it just seems to fall apart and go wrong, and you're left wondering why. And more importantly, what could you be doing that are turning these women off? That's what we're covering in today's video. The 7 simple things that you might be doing that turn women off. So the first one is talking too much. A lot of the time we get a little bit nervous and we just kind of rattle on, and we also think we have to impress the woman with everything that's going great in our lives. But guess what? That makes you look kind of egotistical. It can also make you look kind of insecure if all you do is talk about yourself and brag. A really good date is mostly going to consist of you asking high quality questions and then sitting back and letting her talk at length. Because after all, if you lay all of your cards on the table on that first date, she knows everything there is to know about you. There's no mystery left. There's nothing left to wonder about. Women just don't like that. They want to be part of a love story that kind of slowly unfolds. And she wants you to be a little bit mysterious, not standoffish, not aloof, but she wants to wonder about you a little bit. And the more she wonders about you, the more her attraction level is going to grow. The next one is dumping on her. And this won't happen on a first date, hopefully, but it does happen in longer term relationships or after multiple dates where guys feel like, well, I see in the movies and TV that I'm supposed to be emotionally available. And they think that that means dumping on their girl every time they have a bad day or something that's not going right in their life. And guess what? That doesn't really work. It might work in the movies. It doesn't work in real life most of the time. Now, a little bit of that is going to be okay. But for the most part, you want to avoid making your girl your mommy or your therapist. That's not her role. And she's going to get tired of you doing that if you do that on any sort of a regular basis. It's okay to let her know what's going on so she's not blindsided by things, but she wants to know that you've got your shit together, that you're confident, that you're dealing with these issues head on, and it's no big deal. She wants to feel that confidence from you. That way she can feel safe. And that's really important to women. The next is being too serious. Why so serious?
Let's put a smile on that face.
Love is supposed to be playful and fun and lighthearted, and that's really what gets that connection building between a man and a woman, is that lighthearted, playful, fun kind of love. Love isn't supposed to be serious, and that's why couples who argue all the time typically don't stay together, because they've lost sight of that fact. So don't be a stick in the mud. Have a little fun. Lighten up. That doesn't mean you never address serious subjects as they come up in your relationship, but that should not be the majority of the time. The next one is being too available or too communicative. Initially, a woman is going to want to be pursued, and that means you initiating dates. However, once you've gone on a few dates, at that point, it needs to start to shift to where most of the communication is being initiated by her. And if you have a life, you have friends, you have hobbies, you have work, you have other activities, you're not going to be available 24/7. And if you are, that kind of makes you look like a simp in her eyes. And she may appreciate the fact that she can call you and you'll always be at her beck and call, but it ultimately lowers her attraction level because it makes it seem like you don't have anything else going on in your life other than her. So have hobbies, activities, things that you do outside of her, and don't be afraid if she asks you to do something to say, I'm sorry, I'm tied up that day, but what about this day? And then the same is true for communication. After you've gone on maybe like 3 dates, at that point, she should be texting you after the date, and then you can use that as the opportunity to set up the next get together, but you shouldn't be initiating much conversation with her after that point. Most of the conversation should be initiated by her. Absolutely respond when she texts or calls you, but do not do a lot of the initiation. That's going to make you look a little smothering, a little needy, and maybe a little desperate, and that's going to lower her attraction level. The next one, it's not focusing enough on her pleasure in the bedroom. You know what I'm talking about, guys. That is going to be critically important to her. Don't focus just on yourself. Remember, as the guy, your job is really to give, and that includes the bedroom. So make sure she is fully satisfied. If you do that, she almost can't help but come back for more. The next one is going to be completely counterintuitive to what is portrayed in TV and the movies, but that is not being chivalrous. Women want to be in a love story, and the vast majority of women, even the ones that claim to be feminists, still like for you to hold the doors open for them, open their car doors, maybe pull their chair out at the restaurant, that kind of thing. So don't be afraid to be chivalrous. Women are going to want that. They're going to like that. They're going to like you more if you do those things. And then the seventh sign is not actively listening to her. Most of the time, most people aren't really listening to another person. They're simply waiting their turn to talk, and they're formulating in their head what they're going to say. So actively listen to her, especially when she's dumping on you about something that's going on in the relationship, or even if it's something that's bothering her from work or whatever. Actively listen to her. Make eye contact. Listen. Repeat back a few things that you've heard her say. That way she knows that you're listening to her. It really is going to draw her closer to you because she really feels like you get her. You care. You're really listening to her. And she's going to really appreciate that. And that's going to increase her emotional intimacy with you. It's going to cause her to want to increase her physical intimacy with you. And it's going to draw her overall much closer to you. Women want to feel safe, heard, and understood by their man. And the best way to do that is to really listen to her. If you're struggling in the dating world, there are some huge red flags I want you to be on the lookout for that should cause you to eject and never ask her out on another date ever again. So if you're in that boat, I want you to check out this video right up here about my dating red flags that you need to be aware of so that you can cut them off at the pass.